to 7-Minute Disney Tips, where I, hopefully 7 minutes at a time, and I'll warn you now, this one's probably not going to stay under 7 minutes, give you some tips about Disney based on my many years of planning trips and sharing that knowledge with you. So hopefully you're a little better prepared when you travel to Disney and enjoy your trip a little bit more because of that. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to do EPCOT dining here hopefully in the next 7 minutes. And EPCOT is huge, and a big part of EPCOT is the dining experience. I won't even talk about the food and wine package because that's a 77-minute video on itself. And frankly, probably another 77 minutes just on the standard restaurants at EPCOT. But like I've said in the other videos, and my dining overview, which is linked to below, there's no way to cover Disney dining in any succinct manner whatsoever. It's a huge part of a Disney trip, and so it is important, and I would encourage you to spend some time doing some research on dining. I'll hit a few things that we like at EPCOT, but taste is subjective. Everybody likes different things, so for me to say you absolutely must go here probably doesn't work, probably doesn't cover it for everybody, but let's talk about a few of them. So I'm going to start at EPCOT with Le Cellier. So this is in Canada. For many, many years, this was an extremely hard reservation to get. It was extremely popular, and the reason is it was a 1-credit dining plan option. And I won't talk much about the dining plan in any of these individual videos. I do have a separate video that, again, touches on the dining plan in a small way because that's another huge topic. But Le Cellier then became 2 dining credits, and so it was a little less popular because obviously it took twice as many dining credits. It wasn't as good a value on the dining plan. It's a steakhouse. Period. Simple. It's in a cellar. It's in a cellar in Canada. The service is always fantastic. The food has always been fantastic. It is expensive, but it has always been worth it. I think the last time we went to EPCOT was the first time in 12 years we didn't go there. We just decided to do something different, but that was always a staple for us. Always one of the places that we went. Very, very good. I'm going to touch on Rose and Crown Pub because I know it's very popular. One we hadn't done for a long time. We did do that one in England recently, and frankly, it was a little bit of a disappointment. It was a little bit of a letdown. The food was bland, which I guess is very authentic. From what I've heard, is that's a very authentic experience. And I hate to mention this because Disney's expensive. And I get that, and I accept that as a Disney traveler, and I try to encourage people to understand that and set that fair expectation. Disney's expensive. Dining is no exception. Man, even with that as the backdrop, and even that as an expectation, this was expensive for what it was. You know, I mean, and it was fine. It wasn't bad. I didn't, you know, I won't go back. I don't think we'll go back. It was fine. It was well themed. But it wasn't worth it. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit, talk about the electric umbrella. So now this is back in Future World, so we're not in the countries anymore. And the electric umbrella, I saw a tweet recently, said when the bomb goes off, 3 things are going to survive: the cockroaches, Cher, and the electric umbrella. It's been there forever. It's pretty good quick service, right? It is what it is. You've heard me say it before. All the quick service is kind of the same. This one's a little bit better of the same for some reason. They have a fixins bar, which is kind of a big deal. They also have soda refills out in the open, which is unusual, and so people like that, especially when you're paying, I don't know, several bucks for a soda. You can actually get a refill, or 2 or 3 or whatever. So that's cool. It's got upstairs seating. It's not a lot of fun to carry your tray up there, but it's got a decent amount of seating, even if at first glance you don't see any place. Know there is an upstairs during busy times. Sunshine Seasons is another one. This is over in the Land Pavilion. Good variety here. Good variety of stuff. Sort of gets away from that, even though it is quick service, it gets away from that sort of standard hamburger, chicken sandwich, pulled pork menu. There's some different things over at Sunshine Seasons. So I would recommend that one. Again, like every place, gets extremely busy at peak mealtime. So try to hit the fringes if you can. If not, just know that there's going to be a little bit of a line there. So apologies for kind of skipping around here just as they came to me when I was making my notes. And I'm going to butcher the name. Askershus is a restaurant in Norway. What it's got going for it is it's got princess character dining in the morning. It's a breakfast buffet. It's overpriced. It's fine quality food. It's got some weird kind of stuff on it, I think, for breakfast, but it's part of the theming, right? But if you do the Disney princess breakfast character dining, if that's still a thing when you watch this video, and I'm sure it will be. It has been for a long time. Like I've said in my dining over plan video, you're paying for the characters, and it's worth it. It's the princesses, and that's a tough ticket to get. And if you have little girls or little boys, if you love the princesses, it's worth doing. I'm going to mention Biergarten in Germany. I've mentioned a few times in videos that Disney food is not too exotic because they're catering to the masses, and so every time they do try to get something that's themed and push that envelope on taste and spices, it kind of doesn't go off very well, which is a shame. And then they back up and they sort of dumb it down for the masses, I think is a phrase I've used in some other videos, which I don't love, but I think it's unfortunately appropriate. I'm not sure Biergarten does this. Their food's, and I've never been to Germany, so I don't know. They probably have, but this is German food. And if you're not adventurous and you don't think you're going to like those bold flavors, I would avoid this one. Again, I don't like to tell people to definitely go here or avoid this one, but do some close research if you're don't think you're going to like those bold flavors. Speaking of reviews and not telling people to places to avoid, coral reef is an interesting one to me. I love seafood. This is on the upper end of the dining scale. There's actually a big glass wall of the side of the aquarium, so it's basically you're dining next to a giant aquarium, which sounds really, really cool. Many trips to Disney, we've never been here, and the reason is the reviews for coral reef are consistently not great. Now, certainly you'll see good ones, and so you can have a great experience, but if 90 to 95% of reviews are positive at most places, this one's more like 75 or 80% positive. That's a pretty big difference, right? But do your own research. If you want to give it a try, go for it. Experiences vary. Things change. New managers come in. New chefs come in, and things do change. But I will warn you, Coral Reef has consistently had some bad reviews, and we've never been there because of that, and potentially I regret it. And every single trip, I look again, and it just not much has changed over 15 years. All right, last but not least, there's a bakery in Norway. His name is eluding me. I should have looked it up before I did the video. I apologize. There's only one. It's a bakery in Norway. The school bread is said by many to be the most amazing thing on the face of the planet. I don't particularly care for it because the cream in it is kind of the custard-based filling that you get in like filled Long Johns or filled donuts, your local Krispy Kreme or wherever it is, the custard-based. My wife loves it. We absolutely go here every time. Make sure we get one of those. It's tiny. It gets crazy crowded. They've got other baked goods and sweets, so I always find something that's got some amazing danishes. That is an amazing option. How many did I talk about? 6 or 7? There's 30, 40, 50 places to eat at EPCOT. So if you are a foodie or you really enjoy dining out, EPCOT's going to be a great place for you. There's going to be tons of options. There's some great French options. There's a tepanito, which is a Japanese where they do it right in front of you. I don't know why I can't. Hibachi. That's a lot of fun. That's pretty good. So there's so many options at EPCOT. And again, food and wine is a whole beast unto itself to look into if that's something that you're interested in. So just a brief one on a few things. Went just a few minutes over 7. So I'll wrap it up and just remind you that when you do it well, planning is part of the fun. Enjoy it, and thanks for watching.